The Editor-in-Chief is live in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, welcome to the program, January the 29th, and you're with the Editor-in-Chief.
Duncan Garner, live.
Good evening, everybody. Great to have your company and welcome. Get in touch with me through our social media at Duncan Garner Podcast on TikTok, Instagram, or flick me an email, duncan@rover.nz. Before we carry on, though, Isaac, what do we call this? New imagery.
Yeah, new studio screens, looking good.
Yeah, so Ricky did that, right? Ricky?
Yes, he does.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. Nice effort. Bit of a spruce up for 2025. So when you see us in front of this, yeah, we're on. So let's go. Let's rip into it.
Duncan Garner, live.
I want us to think about the challenge Nicola Willis and Christopher Luxon have set themselves. So Nicola Willis wants to see a boost in our country's economic growth, which essentially means we grow bigger, we get wealthier, we have more people employed, so we're a wealthier nation. Given she's been given responsibility for making New Zealand great again, she no longer has an excuse that she's just the finance minister and doesn't have the power to make things happen. She does. She's been given the licence to make things happen. But here's my concern with this. My concern is this government doesn't actually have any idea how to get economic growth. It's jawbone and hope. So it talks it up and hopes. Say what you like, say what you want to happen, then hope it happens. It's not going to work like that. Doing the hard work to make it happen is what is needed. Like making fundamental changes to our policy settings. Like the Ardern era, putting out a press release saying they want it to happen is pointless. Just because you say something doesn't mean it's going to happen. It's called jawboning, and it's called jawboning the economy. And just because you say something doesn't mean in any way that that's going to be the result. For a start, we're trying to attract foreign investment to invest in New Zealand, right? So what are the options that are being suggested? These sovereign wealth funds have billions and billions of dollars sitting offshore to invest all around the world. And they are investing all around the world. So what do we offer that attracts their attention? What is it that we can say, hey, look at this? They have their own criteria. Why would they invest in some long, far away idea of, say, a road to, say, Whangarei? Are they even interested? And when is it likely to happen? We don't know here. Would they invest in a second harbour crossing across the Auckland Harbour? Well, we have no idea when this might happen. We've got no funding for it. We could be 10 to 15 years away. So why would they be interested if we're unsure? Success doesn't happen by accident. You have to plan and make changes to make it happen. Are our policy settings going to change to attract money here? Is this government willing to be a reforming government that changes settings to incentivise big companies to come here? I just don't see it with this lot. Wouldn't they have done it straight away in office? Why wait till the second year? It's almost like an afterthought after a bad poll in an average year in an economy that's struggling. Is Nicola Willis, here's the question, is she a reformer willing to take hard decisions? Is she a Ruth Richardson willing to be possibly unpopular to get growth? Is she a Roger Douglas? National incrementalists. MMP is about incrementalism. But don't we need bold if we're to attract the big money? Our corporate tax rate, let's look at this. Let's throw some examples out there. Our corporate tax rate is one of the highest in the world. It's 28%. Will it come down? It hasn't even been signalled that it will come down. The worldwide average corporate income tax rate, measured across 180 countries, is 23.37%. What's ours? 28. When weighted by GDPs, that's the size of each of their economies, the average rate across the world is 25%. Asia has the lowest average rate at 19.5%. No wonder they get investment in there. South America has the highest rate at 28.38%. Guess what? Same as us, 28%, the highest rate. Europe's average is 23. The average top corporate tax rate among the big EU countries is 21. 23 in the OECD, 32% in the G7. What are we doing to compete? We're doing nothing. We are far from attractive. We need to be honest with ourselves. Will we offer big tech companies a special corporate tax rate or even a special tax designation for coming here? Now, we've talked about this, but we've never done anything to make it happen. No. Too hard, we say. Luxon's right. We say no too often. And so do they because we offer nothing exceptional or special. Not even a big population to exploit. We've only got 5 million. We're at the bottom of the world as well, so geographically it's difficult. What is Luxon offering, these massive investment funds? Do they see New Zealand as attractive? No, on the contrary, I think they see it as difficult. Is he going to make it easier? From nothing I've seen will make it easier. Are they working on it? Let's hope so. They're going to have to. Because they're now being judged on this because they've set themselves up here. We have fast track, so we put this new fast track legislation in, which by the end of this year should be ready to go. This is the embarrassing bit, actually. 2 years to set up the fast track process. I feel embarrassed saying that. 2 years to set up fast track. Bugger me. 2 years is fast track? The right idea, but it's a shit execution. Dump it and call everything fast track. Well, why not? Because if you have fast track, the other stuff looks slow track. Who wants there? So help me Lord on this. What is Nicola Willis planning? Does this represent a major change to the, say, coalition agreement? And where are Winston and David in this? I suspect they're probably more courageous about trying things than the National Party. We're spending 140,000 New Zealand dollars advertising this new nomad visa to the world. 140k. It is such chump change. What does 140k buy you in America in terms of advertising? In America, who will even see that? $140,000. Whipty shit, that's not going to change the New Zealand economy. National's shown itself to be sadly hugely linked to its past and not willing to try too much creatively. Hell, even our own investment firms and KiwiSaver funds and monies are largely invested overseas because that's where we get the best return. There's nothing on offer here. Now, John Key partially privatised 3 power companies, but what else is there to sell and invest in for foreign funds? Most of the big stuff's gone. I mean, VTNZ, Landcorp, they don't even make any money. Would our economy really do better with those in private hands? Look at Ireland. They actively went about changing the economy. They've got 5.2 million people, by the way, same as us. So Ireland actively went about changing their economy and incentivising growth and attracting foreign firms. Yeah, I've done some work on this. Listen to this. As recently as 1991, Ireland had a lower per capita GDP than most of the other countries in Western Europe. But 20 years later, the situation had totally flipped and reversed. Ireland has 5 million people like us, a small market. So you must export heavily to get rich. Ireland exported high-tech electronics. They did really well. Pharmaceutical items and biomedical items. So they did all this stuff. Yes, Europe's on their doorstep, I understand that. But they got wealthier doing this. They established special relationships with the US and Europe. And in a report from our Ministry of Foreign Affairs, it says, of course you may have heard that Ireland's GDP is massively overstated. Indeed it is. But Ireland is the new popular destination for new foreign direct investment, FDI, okay, in Europe. So Europe puts all its money down into Ireland. Okay, the attraction of this direct foreign investment to Ireland has been a cornerstone of the Irish government policy since the 60s, and it plays a hugely significant role in boosting this Irish economy. Investments come primarily also from the US, and in 2020, US foreign direct investment into Ireland stood at $390 billion US in that year. That's more than the US total for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa combined. So Ireland's just sitting up there taking all the money. In terms of global distribution, how's this? 847 of the big international multinational companies investing in Ireland are from the United States. 354 companies are from Europe, which almost half are from Germany and France. 136 are from UK, right? And 212 come from right across the world, other places. One report I read referred to Ireland as an intermediary between Silicon Valley and Europe. What they do, they reduced taxes, regulation, trade barriers, and so on. And they seriously invested in themselves, like education, health, infrastructure. New Zealand has so much work to do to be noticed and to become attractive to overseas countries and investment funds, like Ireland did. Saying we want you isn't enough. We have to put forward a case, we have to make change, and say why. Right now, I don't think we've done that. Will this budget this year show our intention, or is this government hoping it just turns up? If it's hoping the world is about to turn up, then quite frankly, it's dreaming. The pressure is on Willis and Luxon to make things happen, and they have not much time to convince the voting public that I think is pretty sceptical.
Duncan Garner, live.
That's us, folks. Send us your thoughts. Send us all your views. Thanks for your feedback and support. Get in touch through our social media, Duncan Garner Podcast on TikTok and also Instagram, or flick me an email, duncan@rover.nz. To my team, Lockie and Isaac, I appreciate it, mate. Remember, life isn't dress rehearsal. No curtain raise. You got one chance, mate. This is it. We live in one of the best places on earth. Get out and enjoy it. Have a great rest of the day. Take care, New Zealand.
That was Duncan Garner, Editor-in-Chief Live. Missed something on the live stream? Text Duncan to 3598 to listen back on the podcast. Want to get in touch? Got something to say? Email Duncan@rover.nz. Call 0800 863 293.